r/AskReddit. What's classy when you're rich, but trashy when you're poor? Not cleaning your own house. This one is underappreciated. Your place is either dirty or you're paying someone. Being on a first name basis with a judge. Does Judge Judy count? Not rich nor poor, just went to high school with a judge's son. You know you're from a small town when you go to court. I was a witness in a bad accident, and the judge is your friend's dad. The court reporter is your friend's dad, and the bailiff is a deputy that you've known all your life because you've been in smock with his son. The only people in the courtroom I didn't personally know were the lawyers. Having dozens of cars on your property. If you mow your lawn and find a car, you might be a redneck. Drinking at work. Yeah. It's fine for a corporate exec to down a few highball glasses of scotch at a business meeting. But when my dad conceals his gin in a quaff in a bottle while sorting conveyor belt parts at a factory all day, he's trashy. Business drunk is just like rich drunk. Either way it's legal to drive. Police escorts. Everybody passports. This the life that everybody asked for. Living at a hotel. I've heard there's a very nice place in Schitt's Creek. Eating snails. And just kinda weird when you're middle class. Most classy trashy things are weird when you're middle class. Having too many cars. Why do you need so many? My family is fine with a minivan and a sedan. Why don't you get rid of the old, broken cars? Not cleaning your house. I couldn't stand to have somebody else intimately knowing my house and cleaning up my messes. Why don't you clean the place you spend most of your time in? Dressing very oddly. You aren't impressing the masses with your strange fashion statement. You're poor, but you can't afford a sense of fashion? Florida. This might actually be the best answer. Getting money from the government. Rich people getting money from the government. Here's some subsidies, incentives, exemptions, tax cuts, concessions, bailouts, procurement. Marvelous. Come back for more when you need. Kisses goodnight. Poor people. Duck ein Lazarus Moder Duckars. Get your shit together so you don't ever need this again. Being named Duke or Earl. But nothing can stop the Duke of Earl. Living on an estate. The area my parents live in is actually referred to as an estate by the town's residents. It's one of the most expensive streets to buy a house on in the UK too. Yet 5 minutes drive away is one of the rougher parts of the town, which is a council estate. There are worse places in the country to live as my hometown's crime rate is one of the lowest. But even so, it's a huge change from one part to another in just a few minutes. You couldn't get two more polar opposites. Dressing badly. Selling feet pics on the internet. If I could, I would. Being really into wine. Debt. You owe the bank 10 grand. That's your problem. You owe the bank 10 million. That's the bank's problem. Designer handbags. One of my ex-friends was like that. Always lived beyond her means kinda person. New car. Michael Kors and Gucci handbags. Made just above minimum wage. Always beached about not having money for essentials. It was so hard to hold my tongue during those conversations. Paying for sex and taking drugs. Apparently being drunk before 5 PM. If you're not worth multi-millions, my firm will make you leave and come back another day. If you are, we bring out champagne. We told a couple of potential investors to come back when sober, but 2 billionaires formerly from Microsoft that showed up to our office so drunk that they couldn't even speak straight were treated like gods. I get the feeling that was more of a love you in spite of arrangement. They weren't classy for being drunk. They were rich enough to earn the indulgence. If some billionaire comes into my office shit-faced to discuss ways I could skim a % or so off their billions every year, I'd be happy to talk to them. Even open another bottle for them. Sipping your drink, then spitting it in a bucket. Who does this? People at wine tastings, in big tasting events. For example, along winery tours, the tasters may have a chance to go through dozens of different types or brands of wine. And even though tasting pours are smaller than normal servings, they'd quickly and inevitably get drunk if they wasted none. A buzzword OFC tamper both with one's taste buds and with their ability to process those tastes. Taking random shit and declaring it as art. Not having a job. Existing. Spending exorbitant sums of money on alcohol. Eating weird meat paste on crackers. Wit, Fancy Feast is a respectable brand. Avoiding paying taxes. When the poor do it, it's tax evasion. When the rich do it, it's tax minimization. Showering in your backyard. Marrying your cousin. Incest equals the nobles gotta keep their bloodlines pure. Government handouts. Going into rehab. Outdoor furniture. Day drinking. PFFT. Shelter at home, safer at home equals drunker at home. Day drinking is so hot right now. I feel like people are consuming more than they'd ever admit during these times. 2. Sporting an outfit that costs more than the car you drive. Having a sports car at your house if you're rich it's awesome, if you're poor you look like a meth dealer. Drugs. Having 10 kids. With 3 or 4 different people. Cocaine. Taking money from poor people. Having someone else watch your kids. Government handouts. Some consider it trashy and lazy to go on welfare social assistance when you're poor, but it's okay to receive massive tax breaks bailouts as a multimillion-dollar corporation. A gold tooth. I feel like a lot of delicacies started when rich people ate gross poor food ironically. Oh, the proles have resorted to eating sea bugs. Gertrude, could you imagine eating sea bugs? Lobster in the Northeast was once considered trash and was fed to prisoners. I forget how it became a delicacy. Las Vegas. Smoking. Having an extremely long driveway. Reusing upcycling things. Having a wedding at your house. Having more vehicles parked in front of the house than there are people the family. Consanguineous marriage. Okay when you are royalty but source of bad jokes if you're hillbilly or live in Kentucky. Hunting human for sport. Apparently getting free stuff. Perfectly okay if you're rich actor actress getting $225,000 goodie bags at the Oscars. But you're a horrible individual if you're working poor getting the slightest assistance in any way. Paying poor people to fight for your entertainment. Whoa. You made it to the end? You're a ducking beast. I'll cut you a deal. Smash like and subscribe for more curated content bruh. It's free and that's a great price.